Welcome back to Maggie and Matcha. I apologize about my voice. I have a cold, but it's getting better. I hope that you are all doing well, and I'm finally getting back to my second part of the week in September, what it's like to live in Matcha. So because we had two groups staying at the guest house, I had to do my own cleaning. As you can see, the house gets very dirty very easily, and my cleaner was working at the guest house, so I told her to just work there, not here. Everyone here gets a cleaner because the place gets dirty so quickly. Unfortunately, on this particular day, my washing machine was not working right and the spinner was not working. So it just didn't spin. It sounded like it was supposed to, but it just didn't work. So some days that's how it goes. I will explain how I do laundry some other time. But anyway, we made the most of it, and I just had to wring things out by hand on this particular day. Of course, on Thursday morning, I got to see my kiddos again, and I'm just going to let you listen to Miracle do her thing because it's just a joy.
Banana. She's pretty. She's eating. Banana. Banana. Banana.
I also get called into the hospital sometimes to see some kids with disabilities. And then after that, I came home and did some sewing. So I was making these for the Special Hope Network classroom that we use. And so this just helps us when we're trying to get a child to come up onto their knees in a crawling position. And so I did some sewing. I have fortunately gotten a sewing machine from one of the previous missionaries, and that has been very helpful because over the years, I've had to do a lot of sewing for curtains and bedspreads and all kinds of things. I'm definitely not the best seamstress in the world, but I make do, and I am just happy that I can help out wherever I can. In the evening, my husband and I decided to try an old game that I knew as a kid called Probe. We found it in the game closet, and that was kind of fun. And then I called my daughter because I couldn't believe that she hadn't rescheduled her flight down to Florida when there was a hurricane coming. So I got to worry from this side of the world as she literally flew through a hurricane. I didn't sleep at all that night and landed in the roughest landing possible. So we've been having problems with our fan not spinning. This was just funny. So you're getting to see random things in our lives. Of course, we got more baskets. These are for the guest house laundry baskets that I actually asked somebody to make for me. She does a really nice job on these, and I'm really pleased with her work. So she gets to sell me some more. Then I had to work through the order that just came in from Lusaka for the restaurant and the tuck shop. So this is how it comes in, and then this is what it looks like once we've done inventory and gotten it all back on the shelves. People are always coming to the house selling us stuff, and this guy has these things on the back of his bike that he tried to sell to us. So see if you can figure out what these are. Guess in the comments below and see if you can figure it out. What are these and what are they for? Then I had this man who came to my house and decided to put out all of his wares. I think he's from either Livingston or Lusaka. And so he set up his shop in the little pavilion outside of our house so that the students could then come over and pick out some things that they wanted to buy. He had all kinds of things from pictures to carved animals to placemats. So the students came over and got some souvenirs, and he was happy because he sold some things. So it was a win-win. Later on, I decided to make some chocolate chip cookies, and I'm fortunate to have some visitors who bring me some chocolate chips because we can't get those in Zambia. But as you can see, I needed water and there was no running water at the time. We have this barrel, which you can see the top of it has calcium, which just is in the water. We have a ton of calcium in the water. So I tried to get some with less calcium. Sometimes my tea kettle that I have to heat up my water in just gets caked in calcium and I have to wash it out with vinegar. Here's my tea kettle that I'm talking about. So I was about to do dishes. And so, yes, so the only hot water we have in the kitchen is from this tea kettle. In the house, we only have hot water in the shower. That's the only place we have hot water. So I needed to get some dishes going, so I used my teapot. Once again, the Dutch students came over in the evening to buy some baskets. And then the next day, we decided to take them all, Dutch and American students, on a hike. You can see, we often see ox carts going by. They still use those all the time. So we went on a hike. It was very, very hot, probably close to 100 degrees. But we left early, walked by some of the local houses. So you have this housing unit where there's multiple huts, one main room, which actually that's a pretty big one. But I'll talk more about that some other time. The big hike was up this hill. It's not very high, but it's just straight up the side of it. So it can be pretty tiring at 100 degrees. And so we chose this side. Some people chose another side, but we met at the top. And it was just nice to be outside and exercising and enjoying being out in nature. Of course, coming down the hill was a lot more tricky because it was like shale and the stones just kept sliding. So it was a little more tricky to get down from the mountain. But the views from the top were pretty amazing and all the students enjoyed it, which is what it was all about. Here you can see when we got home, it was almost 100 degrees. So yeah, it was a hot hike, but we had a good time. So I'm going to end with my friend's two little girls singing in church the following Sunday, and that's the end of the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, that wraps up the second half of the week of A Sample Week in Matcha. I hope you enjoyed it and that you will follow along for more stories to come. And we'll connect again soon. This is Maggie in Matcha.